Alright, for this video we will actually tackle MANOVA, which while it may seem as something quite threatening, it's actually going to be the simplest thing ever, especially if you come after mixed ANOVA, two-way ANOVA and things of sorts. MANOVA is just something new, which makes it a bit scary, but it's actually pretty chill in the end of the day. So we have our data set. As you can see, we have one independent variable that has 3 levels in our case, and we have 3 dependent variables. What we're trying to do with this classwork, or in this video, is to see whether there is an effect of different personnel on commitment for sportsmen. So we see that some sportsmen were assigned to having a normal coach, some like psychologist, and then we have the control group who was assigned to nothing. And commitment, it's measured on 3 different scores: liking what they're doing, their commitment in the gym, and their commitment during the game. So as you can see, what is changing for MANOVA, multiple ANOVAs, is that we are having more than one dependent variable. Okay? As we have one independent variable, we're doing a one-way MANOVA, but of course, if you wanted, you could do a two-way MANOVA, but probably you would never do that unless you are obliged to. Anyway, if that would be the case, you can let me know down in the comments and I'll make a video about that. So, first of all, we're gonna go to ANOVA, and we will go to MANCO. Like, well, are we doing MANOVA? Yeah, we're doing MANOVA, but Jamovi does not have a simple MANOVA function, has a MANCOVA function in case you want to do multiple analysis of covariance. So if you want to add a covariate to MANOVA, but again, don't think you want to do that by your own will. So we click on MANCOVA, and as you can already see, it's simple. It's super simple. Here I'm scrolling down, there is nothing more beyond this. Nothing more, nothing contrast, post hocs, nothing. Yes, theoretically you could do post hocs, but Jamovi does not allow you to do that. So if you want, you can use syntax, but again, don't think you really want to do that. So for the purpose of our class, we will not really use post hocs or eta squares. Same thing, it doesn't give it to you. We will put in dependent variables all our dependent variables, and in factors we will put our independent variable. If you add more, you will just put more. Now you see why we have so many of these values over here, right? So many f's. So for the purpose of our class, we will use only Pillai's trace because it is the strongest of these f's. So we will just uncheck the rest, and we have our Pillai's f, which, as you can see, it's significant. But before that, as you know, we gotta do our assumptions. For MANOVA, since it's a pretty robust test, we will actually need only one assumption, and that assumption is the box M test of covariance. We don't need Shapiro-Wilk. Sorry Shapiro, sorry Wilk. In order to interpret this, we need to see whether this P over here is less than 001. If it's less than 001, then the assumption is not met. For anything else, if it's above 0.001, then the assumption is met. I know it's not the same as the rest of the assumptions, but since box M test is pretty strong, we just need to have it, above 001. So even if it's less than 0.5 but above 0.1, that is absolutely fine. Then we have the other two tables. In this table, we have the analysis of multivariance, which is basically saying that there was a significant difference across all 3 dependent variables for the group. So this is basically it. Instead, what we have here, the univariate test, will be basically inquiring the significance of the differences in our levels of our independent variable for each single dependent variable by itself. So there is a significant difference in commitment and liking their sport, significant difference in committing to the gym, and significant difference to committing to the game. That is it. Simple, quick, and nothing too complicated, convoluted as mixed ANOVA.